諸軍総大将官命より全蘇兵に次ぐこたびの栄えある海戦の一陣、我ら祖軍が受けたまった。
なんだこのバカでけえ声は。
隣の戦場だぞ。この戦で秦は滅ぶ。この戦は深く歴史に刻まれること間違いない。この大戦の口火を切る誉れ高き者は林北貴様だ。おう、
先方は。
よっしゃよっしゃ。我が名はその豪将林北。林武君、そこか。同金の敵は我こそこの壮大な戦の幕を開ける者である。死を揺るがすのは誰か。天を震わすのは誰か。沈め戦軍。戦軍突撃じゃ。将軍に続け。
さすが公将軍、そうこなくっちゃよ。俺たちも続くぞ。突撃だ軍隊。この大戦の口火を切るのは俺たちだ。
If you don't want that, then fight. Even if that means you have to force them to listen to you. The words of someone who doesn't fight will never reach anyone.
Well, you had better hear me today. It's because you consider me a vagabond leader that I'm not to speak here. Well, you had better cut those neckties off of them black boys that you put in our district. Because they don't know what's happening. And I'm from the pits of nigger hell. And I know what's happening. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. Should you try to pretend that I'm crazy because I want America to be saved? Riots that goes on in this country, in any city. The city is better than Pittsburgh. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Rowley, King dap it down and sharper than shark teeth. I'm fresh to death, and when I put that shit on, it lower my heartbeat. This how fire works, baby. I spark heat like a bottle rocket. I don't even spit, I be vomiting. When I barf sheesh, the whole game know I'm a menacer. Every beat is like a special move on Mortal Kombat. I'm a finisher, soul snatcher, taking your enema. Feeding on rappers, but you niggas is trash. I've been throwing my dinner up. I don't settle down with it, I simmer up. You would never walk a mile in my shoes, cause bitch, I ain't gonna let you bend them up. I took shots, some niggas was dunking. I wasn't him enough. Fuck, I'm trying to prove that I'm cold. That's what the winner for. Hey, keep it taller, that's what you winning for. Do what y'all meaning, like the sun at noon. You better make sure it's centered up. Because the way that my shit hit, brother, bitches be trying to get me in the corner for the mouth. Like spit bubbles, champagne in my coat. I'm a Chris Tucker. I'm running circles round niggas. Soon as I enter race like a mixed couple. Chunk of fat dudes, this a big double. I put the bread before the beef and did it all for the cheese like a McDouble. Hey, King busted, nigga, my shit shuttle. I give him game, but truth Truthfully, you niggas is condom like a dick rubber. So kick rocks, nigga, and lick rubble. Cause I'm the problem and the reason why little China got big trouble. Look, I'm clean shaven, you won't see shit stubble. And if I ever want a pool of bitches, I tell her make me a big puddle. I freak your diva till she got weak knees. She wanna lay in the sand on an island in tan. I told her beach please. All I ask is give me a hard dick, not a hard time. Regarding your feelings mean that I'm gonna disregard mine. And I ain't in the business of brushing off what I really want. When you expressing feelings, just try to be Bryson Tiller. Don't let me know if you can comprende. And if we fucking hush about it, just keep my pickle low like I'm Dende. And then stay 10 toes down. If you want niggas that'll bleed for you, baby, you gotta make sure the men straight. Never fold, but if you do, then bend straight. I muffle some of the game so they won't get exhausted from all this intake. I'm sick of all you ingrates. My heart tougher than Tuscan leather. Gave an inch, but they took a foot from me. I'm Kunta Kinte. I'm rolling. I'm rolling.
Yo, what's up? What's up? This your guy, Ray Harmer, 1 versus a million. I'm not your fan. I'm not your stand for. I am brother. Please hit the like, share, subscribe. On your way in, hit the like and share. And hit the link to follow the Rumble on the Rumble side. The link should be there for you for whenever I go live for movies, for movie nights and anime nights. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, man. Again on the Nolan Wells case. So. Yeah, but in this one, yeah, there was a big update uh, recently, some days ago. Uh, some big news about basically this audio that was leaked, and yeah, we are going to cover that. So, which was doctored up and straightened out and enhanced by a black female audio engineer. So, yep, and shout out to her. Shout out to her. Give her an award for doing a good job. And yep, and that was shocking too to see that. I was like, wow, okay. Bet. I was like, well, shit, how awesome. How awesome. Okay. Well, we also have videos too as well from uh your Judge Joe Brown. We got one from him. And Judge Joe Brown with this one is basically him also debunking what Judge Mathis was saying in regards to the Nolan Wells case. So it'll be him giving his experience, as he will lay that out for us. So yeah, we'll be checking that out. But I have some videos, a couple of videos I want to show before we get into that, which is directly related to Nolan Wells. So yep, and we got that, and also got news of it coming from Comedy Hype. So we'll be sharing them as well. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it. Let's see what Judge Joe Brown had to say about this.
All right. So I want
Shout out to
to
Dana.
bring up your, what do we call him? Your frenemy, Judge Mathis, because he sat down with Art of Dialogue and
Moist Mathis.
yes, Moist Mathis, aka Moist Mathis. He put his 2 cents in the Nolan Wells case.
He's inexperienced. He was the youngest judge in Michigan history. And he got in because there was a big uproar when he was just out of law school about police misconduct. To give you an estimation of where he's coming from, he's a choir boy. The Second Circuit has members of the U.S. Supreme Court from the Second Circuit. At the time, there were several members of the U.S. Supreme Court in the audience, and the topic was TV cameras in the courtroom. So we get 2 hours of lecturing to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. It produces most of the U.S. Supreme Court justices. Several of the U.S. Supreme Court are present. Napolitano is there, well received. Judge Joe Brown is there, well received. And this clown sends something in saying he had to rehearse for a gospel show. And they talked about him so badly and compared him to somebody else that was also part of the inquiry of what the hell is going on with somebody conveying the false information to the American public that this is how a judge is supposed to act. So that's where he's coming from.
All right.
Now, he can go on do whatever he wants to do.
Let me play this clip.
Nolan, a black man, went on a boat ride to a pretty much resort island, not necessarily, just a fun island off the coast of Mississippi. And 4 of them left and went and had fun, and only 3 returned. They then found Nolan dead. His 3 friends that he had come with in the boat had gone and left in the boat and claimed that Nolan stayed behind by himself. And additionally, however, and this is where the first question comes in with me, they say he left his cell phone. They have his cell phone. They had it in their possession. Okay, so if your buddy says to you, I'm leaving, you all go back. I'm staying by myself. No friends, just me wandering around. And then you see that he had left his cell phone. So you see, so you say, in the boat. And instead of taking it back to a friend who's on the island by himself, and by the way, did you ask him how he was getting home? So instead of going back, you couldn't be that far off because the phone right in the boat. Say an hour or 2. If you're a real friend, you'll drive back on that recreational hour or 2 on the boat having fun to give your man his phone. Because if he's out there by himself, no question about it, 90% white in the state of Mississippi that has a history of demonizing and black men and killing them in the civil rights era. Most of the civil rights killings occurred in Mississippi, including Medgar Evers, including our dear young brother from Mississippi who was killed, and several others. And so we know that Mississippi has a history of demonizing and marginalizing black men. And so the question became, what is the investigation going to be? Well, the police immediately accepted the version of the 3 young men that returned. Now, here you are, you're supposed to be the police. And I just deduced it. And I deduced it not just now, but I had deduced it immediately after seeing it in the media. And I'm not an investigator, I'm a lawyer and a judge, but an investigator, that is a police investigator / detective, has investigative techniques that would have immediately thrown into question what occurred, and common sense throws into question what occurred. And that's where we're at now. And there's some actions being taken by Ben Crump. I've spoken with him and he's on top of it. And the family has the questions raised. Again, why would he leave his cell phone? Because it had to be voluntary. And then voluntarily stay on an island by himself without telling them why. A lot of questions there, a lot of holes in it, and that's what that grand jury is going to look into. That's the good news.
This person is not an expert. He did okay. He was entertaining on his TV thing. He needs to get some bass in his voice, but he was a gangbanger. And while other young men who were not gangbanging, and he says he was forced to do that, but when his mama got sick, he bailed on it. Which shows you he didn't need to get in the first damn place. And he's been an avid supporter for the gay thing because I guess his boys or whatever boy is swinging that way. And his level of experience when he became a judge was raw, rookie. He hasn't tried cases as a trial lawyer. I don't know if he's ever handled an appeal. He's talking about criminal matters. And he sounds like he doesn't know what he's talking about.
He brought up the grand jury.
Yeah, he just fell into the doggone thing, the trap I talked about. Somebody is pulled dead out of some water. Did somebody kill him and throw him in the water? Well, he's trying to make a big deal out of the cell phone being found. What did we just get through talking about? You getting ready to get back in the water, waterproof phone or not. You don't take the phone in the water with you. You leave it where you were. So everybody is young, not handling alcohol too well. And what winds up happening is somebody turns up missing. Somebody just says, well, I just met this guy. Maybe he went back with his buddies, but look, he leaves the phone. The girl tries to get the phone back to his kinfolk, which he does. And say, he left it. I thought he came with you guys. And they say, well, we thought he was trying to.
It wasn't the girl, it was his friends that left.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the girl gets, one of the stories out there is that the girl returns the phone.
There's too many different stories.
I know. See, it's all bullshit. So he's supposed to be a judge who is getting into the middle of it. And the only reason I belabored the point is all of this is speculation and all of these are alternatives, most of which indicate there was no foul play, just an unfortunate accident. There may have been foul play, but there's nothing out there right now. There's no autopsy finding except one done by Ben Crump's machination.
It's an independent autopsy and it's undetermined.
Yeah, they can't make any determination out of the damn thing, which is just completely neutral.
Mathis brought up grand jury. When would the grand jury be convened?
It has to have problems. In other words, somebody's got to say, okay, there's some foul play here, and there's nothing so far that indicates that. It's entirely circumstantial. And in law, yeah, you can establish a criminal case with totally circumstantial evidence, but there's one interesting thing about circumstantial evidence. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, while this case may be established as to each and every element through circumstantial evidence, there is something unique about such a case. The proof must exclude every other reasonable possibility but that of guilt. So in other words, the evidence, the circumstantial evidence they have right now does not exclude a whole lot of benign explanations for what happened. So they don't have anything to go in front of a grand jury on. In other words, for example, this is a classic one. I used to use it to juries as a trial lawyer and as a trial judge, okay? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, let's suppose we're in here and we decide to break for lunch. We haven't selected the jury, so the court's going to tell you to come back at 1:30. You go outside and all of the streets are wet. That's circumstantial evidence that it rained while you're up in here. There are no windows, so you can't see outside. So is that going to be circumstantial proof to show that it rained? Well, not necessarily, because what if we find out that the fire department was out here trying to wash down the streets because a truck had a spillage? So you see, that's an alternative explanation from the fact that the water is on the ground. Now, if you had somebody that came in and I put him on the stand and said, you solemnly swear or affirm, et cetera, what did you see? Well, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I just walked in from outside and it's raining out there. Well, that's an eyewitness. But you see the circumstantial evidence that somebody would say it was raining, the streets are wet. Well, there's an alternative explanation. You cannot accept that as circumstantial evidence sufficient to prove the case.
I don't believe he drowned. I believe he was killed.
Stop.
I'm a judge.
Stop. You mean somebody like that with that kind of attitude set on a criminal bench where the evidence is supposed to be beyond a reasonable doubt? What basis does he have for that belief? There is nothing in there on social media or otherwise that would indicate that such a thing happened. People drowned every day, bunches of them when there's a holiday going on. So where in the hell does he get that conclusion? That's just because he wants it, because it helps out his narrative.
Are you serious?
And
That's the
by
way
the
all
way,
the evidence, preliminarily, that's what I see. You don't leave your friend on an island, seeing that he has left his phone, and not at least go back. You came there with him. You left him there, you say, because he wanted to stay. But you notice that he's left his phone. How was he going to get home in the first place? Wouldn't he need his phone in order to call his transportation? Or they should have known some of that. He would have said, I'm going to get home by such and such way. When you, hey man, I'm not coming. Y'all go ahead. I got a young lady. Okay, man. Is she gonna bring you home? How you gonna get home? You don't ask any of those questions? So you must have asked those questions. If you didn't, that's more evidence that I believe contributed to the reasonable suspicion. So I'm with the prosecutor. How about that so far? So you won't have to say that the judge is making conclusions without getting the evidence. The prosecutor has found enough evidence, to create a reasonable suspicion that a crime occurred. And now
wait, time out. See, people rely on this fool, and he's putting out there nonsense. There's been no probable cause, no reasonable suspicion, and no DA has said we've got an indication of foul play, have they?
No.
Yeah, well, what the hell is this reckless fool doing that? And see, the other thing is, he obviously was so busy gangbanging, he never went out to act like a young man out there, beach, bikini, babes, beach, babes, bikini, booty, or maybe the wrong kind since he's been pushing this rainbow stuff so tough. Eddie needs some bass in his voice. So, what are we dealing with here? This is the number one advocate for that rainbow stuff, and he sings in the choir. You know what they say about that. So, the music director and all that stuff.
And come up with some answers on whether to indict. So I'm there with the prosecutor so far. Take it to the grand jury. Now I have to wait until what the grand jury comes back with before I support any charge or any lack of charges.
So the prosecutor, this is not even assigned to a prosecutor. So he's
what the hell is with this reckless crap?
He's jumping.
Is he supposed to be getting a cut of the play? Oh, and by the way, in case Big Mouth here wants to go cut up another little fracas going, 10,000, Sweet 16, paper bag, candy, old comedy club on Jefferson Street and another certain such street on in Detroit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He will.
Oh.
And he better keep his little loud mouth closed. That's code, by the way. So I think he'll get it. And he's been running his mouth off too much. I ordinarily would leave him alone. But he said something that I found acutely embarrassing.
Yeah, but
he got up on a thing that embarrassed black lawyers, black judges intensely. It was myself and a bunch of other TV judges, including him. And he got up. See, the Constitution says I'm not but 3/5 of a person. That was from a canned speech that Stokely Carmichael used to deliver for effect. It was funny the way he put it. And he actually sat there and somebody said, Judge Mathis, where did you get that? Well, I know it's a fact. See, and I declare the Constitution unconstitutional sometimes. Somebody said, how in the world are you going to declare the U.S. Constitution unconstitutional relative to what? And I just said, oh, he didn't say that. Oh, no. And then he argued about it. And I said, Judge Mathis, perhaps you don't get what the other judges are asking you. How possibly can you find the United States Constitution unconstitutional? Relative to what? And look, one little last comment. This has got nothing to do with anti-black. This has got to do with, see, when you set a precedent, it goes both ways. And black folk are always squawking about justice means just us. So when there's an opportunity to correct a wrong, it seems all of the erstwhile black folk who act like Negroes rather than black folk, they sit there and F it up by trying to come up with some kind of exception to the law that winds up getting used against them. So that's what it's about. The law is even. It's blind. It's got on muffs so it can't hear the tone of voice very well. And it deals with the realities, and if it doesn't, it shouldn't. So why are we trying to sit here and perpetrate this kind of nonsense by jumping on a bandwagon to push a narrative that at this point has absolutely nothing to back it up except speculation, and somebody that's supposed to have sat on the bench knows good and damn well you're not supposed to speculate when it comes to something that has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt ultimately, and before that, the establishment of probable cause to even take something to a grand jury and the exercise of prosecutorial discretion. And then you want to tell the public who might rely upon you because of your widespread interaction with them over a number of years and rely on what you're saying is a statement of the law, which this is not.
All right. Old man Joe Brown. Sorry, sir, but with all due respect, that sound like a raccoon language, sir. Yeah, because with the leak of this video, I can imagine that's basically you, what they say, the term is putting your foot in your own mouth, whatever, or up your own ass. Yeah. So, and it will prove that what he's saying, what Judge Matthews was saying was right. And a lot of other people was echoing the same shit. That there was foul play involved. That my little bro was deleted. He was he was murdered. And with you saying like, oh, he sound like the typical raccoon talk that we're used to hearing here in the space, man. From these cats who just find it so hard to stand for black people for when wrong has been done to them. It's like they want it to be like so just uh, so obvious to where a 6-year old could understand it. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't, you know, it shouldn't take, it should take that, it shouldn't be that hard for you to be able to intelligently deduce and also through common sense that this wrong was committed. It's an extreme, exerted effort from a lot of different black people, man, who wants to just ride the train against black people, period. You know, who who shares the same sentiments as your race baiting shitty officer Tatum, right? And those cats, you should put them in the same category as the groups, as these raging feminists, the Pukishas, and the Karens and them and the rest of them, all of them. It's a waste of time talking to them. You know, it's a waste of time talking to them, justifying yourself to them, any of that shit. You know, and if they try to reel you in into doing so, they're just trying to reel you in into going on this endless circle of a bullshit, conversation. It's just it ain't going no damn where, you know. And but their purpose, well, let's okay, their purpose in doing that is to bend you to their side, to take you through this endless loop, what they would have you believe to be endless, but they're doing it to reach a particular endpoint that they're hoping to reach, which is to bend you to their side, to concede to their view, and to adopt it as your own, so they can truly feel like they won. Nah, nah, bro. Nah, Judge Joe Brown. This boy was murdered, and the truth was out there, and it was wrong. You know, it was just totally wrong and evil. And it's evil to defend evil ass people, which I cannot understand with you super raccoons. And so, so tell me where you stand, Judge Joe Brown. Where do you stand, sir, when it comes to black men who have been unlawfully arrested? Hmm. Unlawfully arrested for the purpose of fulfilling arrest quotas. Huh? I try to reach out to your ass or whatever, so I see. Okay, decide that you're what you're actually on now. Okay, all right. But I went to you, you know, about my situation, and no response. And nor have I heard of anything, of you talking about of anything relating to the sort. From what I'm seeing, from my eyes, in my own real time, that there is a whole slew of people who are looking for civil lawyers who have been wronged by law enforcement in great similar ways as to my situation, or otherwise. Either way, still they've still been unlawfully arrested, and they have suffered, greatly behind it. To some, that's altered their lives altogether. And what is your say on that, huh? What is your 1, 2, 3 step process of info that you can give to us of what we can do in order to sue these particular police departments to get retribution / a settlement for our pain and suffering, huh? Because I kind of find it odd, though, to the highest degree. I kind of find it odd that they're allow people to come through with defamation cases and shit, and there are lawyers there who are quick to help people to build a case and to sue when it comes to defamation. And people look at it as a great thing, because as an example, one of the prime examples, Cardi B suing Tasha K and her getting like $3 to $4 million. I'm like, damn, or that was at least the judgment. But yeah, I'm like, okay, for that, well then, motherfuckers, all the more reason for us to be able to sue these bastards, these wicked ass people, you know, for a higher crime, higher issue. So therefore, yeah, I mean, where's your advice on that, Judge Joe Brown? Which law firms we can go to? Where there's a hub of civil lawyers that will be, at the ready to take our case. Hmm. It's a damn shame where people are looking up ways of how to properly defend their damn selves, in which I'm thinking about going into myself. So, because yeah, and especially too when you got people that's talking about they ain't just saying, "Hey, I've been done wrong." No, they're actually breaking this shit down, y'all. Like I'm talking about through like Facebook groups, like a civil rights Facebook groups. You go to that and in fucking Instagram. No, they're actually breaking it down and also claiming to have uh, a great deal of evidence. But apparently, as they have shown through times past, with cases such as with our good dear brother Jonathan Majors, he had concrete evidence right there, hey, that he was not trying to be no aggressor whatsoever, to where he was running from this damn woman, and they still sought to find him on something, and they did. But he was another prime example, also all all the cases that went by of men, of just by the accusation alone can ruin you or damage you to a great degree. And like I said, it costs a man millions. So how can we sue for that, Judge Joe Brown? Since Judge Mathis don't know shit or what he's talking about, whatever. Well, what's your say on that, huh? Good sir. Of how those of us can get retribution. Well, what must we do? What must we do? That's what I gotta say on that one. And yeah, so and I forgot to look and see to do my search to see if Judge Joe Brown, what his response, what his reaction would be after the uh, the news, the big update with this leak audio. I want to see what his response will be. If it's man, just you can consider him as another raccoon that just need a boot up the ass to be the rocket to send his ass past Mars with the rest of them. If he is still speaking on any kind of raccoon ship, we'd be like, well, they're still not going to, that still that don't mean nothing. Oh my God, I'll be like, yep, it's clear to show where a bunch of some old motherfuckers can be on some straight bullshit. Like I'm telling you, cats like that, man. There's no brotherhood to be had with such a man, young or old. But yeah, so let's go into comedy hype from what they shared. So yeah, shout out to him. Yeah, shout out to John Abba. See, yeah, we're gonna dive into it. Here we go.
Reporting live from Irish Club, Fight Plus News, I'm John Abba. The case of Nolan Wells has now hit another level of discussion after leaked official audio of his friends, who some consider were not his friends, emergency call to a boat tow company will begin circulating online.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Hey, up! Shut the fuck up!
Now, what will shock listeners from the recorded audio was the commotion taking place in the background as the boat's driver, identified as Wyatt Pyron, spoke with the operator of Sea Tow while allegedly struggling with the boat. As reported, along with others, we appear to hear the word dead be used, along with something that sounds like Nolan, followed by a cry out of "oh my god" by a female passenger. Then a male voice saying "wake the F up" or "shut the F up," and lastly someone yelling out "damn it, Bart." Now, some have gone on to attempt to debunk a few of those claims being reported. So in this report, we will focus on the words that mainly everyone agrees to have heard, which is the woman yelling out "oh my god" and "damn it, Bart." According to a recent interview by Warren Hudson, the self-proclaimed best friend of Nolan, and who was identified since the case's earliest reports, the leaked call would be made just as they were getting help to be told by their friend Bart Edmiston, which means that "damn it, Bart" was more than likely directed towards Edmiston, who happens to be a former student of Ocean Springs High School and a now collegiate athlete for the University of Wyoming as their starting punter. Now, upon research, it can even be confirmed that Bart and Wells were also former teammates, as seen here in this picture, shared on Ocean Spring High School's football Facebook page, and ironically what appeared to be a very wholesome moment of them next to each other, talking to elementary students, no longer reflects the status of where Edmiston and Wells have now ended up today, with one being a victim of a mysterious death and another accused of being behind it. Now, for those who feel Edmiston should be in question, mainly comes from his aggressive tone when seemingly yelling out "shut the F up" or "wake the F up" before someone yells out "damn it, Bart," which for those who feel that the audio reveals a possibly dying Nolan was on one of the boats or near the boats, falls perfectly into the timeline after a female passenger would yell "oh my god" in horror as if she witnessed something gruesome. Suspicions for some about Bart also center around the lack of mention of him by anyone during this entire case, as if he was purposely being hidden. So who is Bart Edmiston Jr.? According to research, he is 21 years of age and looks to have left Ocean Springs High School soon after he and a younger Wells were teammates in 2022 to continue his football career. He is noted for being one of Mississippi's best high school punters, followed by several awards in his time in junior college, to just as recent as last October, as he would make the Ray Guy Award Ray's 8th selection as one of the top 8 punters in the country with an average of 45.3 yards per punt. Back in 2022, Edmiston was named Athlete of the Week by Gulf Coast, Mississippi news outlet WXXV25.
My dad, which is also Bart Edmiston, I'm a junior, he kicked at the University of Florida, 1992-96. And then he's always wanted me to kick, and then I started it going into my 8th grade year. Last year I was the only kicker on the roster, so I had to do everything by myself, be my own ball boy, go fetch all my balls. But now, I have my little brother, he came up, he's in 10th grade, he's a kicker and punter also. But now I make him do all my duties for me. I'll make him go fetch the balls, he's my ball boy now. Kind of mean, but it's brotherly love. When I hit a good punt or a good field goal, I just chase that again.
Now, outside of this audio that has now placed Edmiston at the center of what happened to Wells, there already appears to have been a paper trail on him. As revealed by several sources, Edmiston met with the police and his boat's GPS data was also pulled. In a separate report, it goes on to say that Edmiston provided an investigator with his driver's license and boat registration card. Now, as we stated in our most recent report, we are certain that the FBI and investigators have the necessary tools to confirm what was said in the background during the emergency call to end all speculation. But until that happens, Edmiston now sits in the spotlight, as Wells' family and supporters continue to ask questions on how did a 6'1" athlete vanish amongst a crowd of hundreds of people and then be later washed ashore in the area he was last seen, with no witnesses coming forward when he was first reported to be missing. Now, as mentioned by state officials, the investigation on the mysterious death of Nolan Wells is ongoing, but it appears that the longer that they wait and bits of information comes out, only creates an environment for more speculation. As far as what should happen next, people like former Mississippi Judge Carlos Moore are expecting arrests to be made soon. On his Facebook, Moore would write, "We need some arrests this week." Now, across parts of social media, many would take to TikTok and elsewhere to share the reaction to the newly highlighted audio and their thoughts on what needs to happen.
The Nolan Wells case, I am convinced that he was strangled on that boat by Bart. And this is why. So with the audio and the confirmation, I was waiting for more of an expert kind of level. So like Nancy Grace, and she's bringing all these experts and confirming transcripts that I've heard from other creators on here that isolated some of the voice on there. Yeah, whoever this Bart guy, he strangled Nolan. That's where I'm at. And this is why also with the second autopsy, they said that parts of his neck, the organs inside were missing. I think they're trying to cover up that he was strangled.
Well, the new audio came out from that Cito dispatch. I want y'all ass in jail. From Bart to Wyatt to that damn mom who was that judge. Y'all knew something happened to Nolan Wells. Look, in that Cito dispatch call, before somebody picked up, can we cover it up? You killed him. Is he already dead? Nolan, wake up. Look, damn it, Bart. I think Bart ass did it. That's what I think. Look, wake the up. They panicking. They need to be in jail by tonight.
You're about to get everything that's coming to you. But what's getting me is the fact that why is the internet solving this case before the sheriff's office? That's what gets me. Y'all were so quick to declare that there was no foul play. Just an accident. And look what we're turning up here.
There's things that seem weird there. And it's still, to me, you were in the location where his body was found. Very close to where his body was found. And that's when you called for help and your grandfather called to cancel help, and there were 7 people on the boat, and there's some commotion in the background, and it doesn't sit right with me. Like I said, boating culture, I don't know how you leave with 7 people in a boat full of water. And I also don't know how you leave with 7 people and not a boat full of water and end up not going very far, because they were still right off the west tip, and having a boat full of water. I need somebody to explain to me how that happened in calm seas with a boat that was operational when you loaded it.
To note, Wells will be found 2 days later in the same part of the island where these now boats would depart from, adding to more coincidences that point out a cover-up for some. Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Now that we re-listen to the audio, does it still capture what may have been Nolan's final moments, or does it capture a frantic situation and frustration settling in, causing someone to yell "damn it, Bart," as well as a young lady crying out for fear of a sinking boat? Reporting live from Hypers Club, Fright Plus News, I'm John Abba.
Man. See, yeah, that's some bullshit right there. Like, yeah, man, straight up, dude. Like, after the audio, yeah, they all their asses, all of them involved, and all of them who helped them cover up this shit, who helped cover it up, them to keep those who were there, who were in close proximity of Nolan. All of them, damn it. All of them should be under the damn jail. Because all of them was willing to go forth and allow his family, to go without justice, without answers. to be left with a child who they had to bury. So yeah, all of the motherfuckers should be under the jail. And put you damn raccoons under the jail with their ass too. So yeah, but we're gonna also get into where Willie D shares a video from this woman who's a black woman who's a audio engineer who enhanced the audio. So yeah, we'll be getting to that. But yeah, let's get into the next video, the last video from Comedy Hype on this one. So yeah, and this should be about the response to one of the motherfuckers that was there. I believe this one is from Bart. But yeah, so let's go.
Reporting live from Ibis Club, Fright Plus News, I'm John Abba. The case of Nolan Wells looks to be one of the most interesting cases in recent years. A black teen in Mississippi goes missing after being left on an island by his friends, who happen to be a mainly all-white group, and is found washed ashore 2 days later. At the start of this case, local authorities to some spoke too soon by suggesting that no foul play appeared to be suspected, and then later reassured Wells' family and those interested in the case that it will be handled like any other case. Now, from our point of view, that could be the error, because Nolan Wells' mysterious death is not like any other case. On Tuesday, in the aftermath of a new piece of background audio being highlighted, a part of an emergency CETO call, many who not only fear what happened to Nolan could happen to them, and those who want answers would question and begin turning up the accusations against Nolan's friends who he traveled to Horn Island with. Now, in the audio release, interpreters would suggest that they heard things like, "Is he dead?" the name Nolan, "Wake up," and of course, one that has captured many people's attention, "Damn it, Bart."
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Hey, up! Shut the fuck up!
Depending on how you interpret the audio, it can be heard as the final moments to a crime, where one of his friends yells at another friend for taking a life, while others suggest to cover it up. If you do interpret it this way, it could answer how Wells could just end up disappearing out of thin air. Now, a part of this interpretation, Wells' former teammate Bart Edmondson would be called out due to him seemingly being the person to angrily shout out, "Shut the F up," after panic would take over the boat, making it appear as if he had just finished doing something to Wells, in which you would also hear female passengers not being able to contain their emotions with what they were witnessing, as some are suggesting that they heard Nolan. On Wednesday, as more and more people accuse Edmiston as being a possible suspect, it appears that he and his family are now responding with their own attorney, conservative commentator Russ Latino, based in Mississippi. On Wednesday morning, Latino would announce that he is now joining the Edmiston family to clear Bart's name and go after anyone making defamatory statements. On Facebook, he would go on to write, "I have been retained by the family of Bart Edmiston to pursue people defaming him with wholly fabricated assertions of fact that are putting Bart, his family, and friends in harm's way. The family will put out a formal statement later today and announce the initiation of his first defamation lawsuit." Bart received a credible death threat yesterday because of some of that made-up speculation on this and other sites. The FBI, state, and local law enforcement have all been activated. But I wanted to share a few things for people who think it's a game to invent lies that could get other people killed. We have hired a private investigator firm to identify and track individuals engaged in defamation against the Edmistons. If you are young, naive, or lack the resources to pay a civil judgment, will not clear us from filing a lawsuit against you. This is not about money for my clients. They want to protect their family, and they want to curb people who lie recklessly. If you make up something out of thin air or share something you don't know to be true, adding the word allegedly or saying people are reporting will not save you from a defamation lawsuit. We
Oh,
will address
shut
the
your bitch
falsehoods
ass
being
up.
presented methodically, but now is not the time for that. Now is the time to make very clear that we intend to be unrelenting against people who are lying online for clicks and likes. The Edmondsons and the broader Ocean Springs community grieve for the loss of Nolan Wells. They want the truth and peace for Nolan's family. People making things up online that put others at risk are not honoring Nolan's life or loss. They're not bringing us closer to the truth, but pulling us away. This will be a large, potentially nationwide task. If you're a lawyer who believes that the rule of law, the presumption of innocence, and our very commitment to truth is in jeopardy and want to do something about it, please reach out to me privately. Now, before Latino would release his statement, Bart's own mother on Tuesday would break her own silence after her son was accused of wrongdoings related to the case of Nolan Wells. While responding to a user on Facebook, she would clarify a previous comment that Bart looks to have made about the last time he was in a certain part of Mississippi, causing some to accuse him of lying. His mother would go on to say, "You are stirring the pot by reposting things that are not factual, and you have manipulated words." He said he has not been in past Christian Mississippi in a year, which is where that picture was taken. He was clarifying that he was not present there. He never said he was not in Mississippi. I have a screenshot of it if you need me to send that to you. He is playing football out of state and was only home, Ocean Springs, for a few days in July and was on the boat that towed the boat that Nolan declined going on because he wanted to stay behind. The audio that you are referring to is not as you guys see. They were panicking and creating a plan to get the boat saved from sinking. The newest news has been reported that Nolan was seen on the island after the two boats left. And there are pictures from my son's boat of the boat about to be towed. And clearly Nolan is not on the boat. So for all you internet investigators, your plot to accuse my child of something is not warranted. And it will come out sooner than later that he did not harm Nolan. And believe me, those who slander his name without warranted will be held accountable for their words. At the top of this report, I wanted to highlight that this case is not usual, and therefore approaching it like a usual case may not be the best thing for all of those connected, especially those who may be innocent, given the highly emotional subject matter, as people who look like Wells desire peace of mind and knowing that they can't just be mysteriously found unalive and no one can give a clear explanation to what happened. On Tuesday, as a way to challenge myself again of what I heard on the audio and without the influence of a transcript, I also heard another possibility. What if instead of hearing "is he dead," it was "it's dead," referring to the bilge pump? And the one that left everyone shocked, what if Nolan was actually "no way," as panic set on the boat?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
Now, if this is the case, there are still other questions, like Wyatt Pyron's grandfather appearing to call the CETO captain directly to cancel help, as Wyatt was on the phone to get help. Questionable things about that call still stands out for some.
CETO assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
So again, as a full presentation of all the facts continues to be withheld from the public by those in position to give it, people will continue interpreting how they see it, whether it be for their own safety and curiosity. Speculation grows where transparency lacks to exist. Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Now that we know that Bart and his family have responded with a lawyer, we think the lack of day-by-day updates from officials was the best thing to do regarding the case. Reporting live from Hypers Club, Fight Plus News, I'm John Abba.
Yeah, I'm still saying y'all guilty, man, because y'all can't just like leave this, you know, this family like that, man. With just groveling in pain, from losing their kid, and you guys can't, come with no fucking answers. All y'all just shrug your shoulders like, oh, I don't know. No, no, bullshit, bullshit. His name was mentioned in the audio. Yeah, so we gonna get to that. Yeah, and that fat ass lawyer. Okay, bet. Uh, and the truth will come out, motherfucker. All right, yeah, the truth will come out. So here's your boy's name was mentioned in there, and yeah. So while I say Devin Bar, if something happened to the boat, if the boat, was sinking, and when boats sink, usually it's not the cause of someone, it's the cause of it. So why would you say Devin Bar like you mad at Bart for the boat sinking? Let's get to that. Let Ben Crump and them ask that question. Why would the person in the audio say, damn it, Bart? Why would a dude in the audio say, damn it, Bart? Is that something? Why did the boy in the audio say, damn it, Bart? If it was because of the boat, then we got to go an explanation of that. As to what did Bart do to cause the boat to sink that warrants him to say the words, damn it, Bart? So, yeah, let's go to the next video real quick because I'm trying to get through this. So, yeah, here we go.
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Well, what do we have here? A threat on my life? Really? So let me get this straight. I've been standing on business since I became a professional rapper in 1989. That would put me right at 37 years of nothing but truth. Daring truth. Confronting all sorts of evil, wicked, powerful, rich, and influential people. Taking them down. On the streets, taking down real bona fide gangsters, real killers, all of that. And now I'm supposed to be scared of a digital message? I say, man, I don't know who the hell y'all think y'all playing with, but I'm really not the one. Or, depending on how you look at it, I'm the one. You picked the right one. Because my heart don't pump no fear for cowards. Cowards that will mask their faces. Cowards that will attack a grieving mother and father whose child was murdered. I have zero respect for those who try to circumvent justice.
Zero respect.
Zero. See, y'all are used to being bullies. Y'all think y'all in the 1960s where you pick up the phone and, hey, nigga, you better get out of town, nigga. We gonna get you, nigga. I don't know what you heard, but I bust back. And I do go on the offense. So if I find out who you are, expect contact. Why are they attacking me and other creators who are simply just trying to help the family get answers and to protect the public? Because you got some killers out there roaming the streets. Yeah. So they need to be brought to justice to save everybody else so that nothing like this happens again, at least with them. Why are they attacking us?
Tell them evil.
Why not attack these guys? They're the ones who's supposed to be his
evil as
friends,
hell, that's why.
who left him on the island all by himself. They're the ones who have been given inconsistent stories. They're the ones who went back home on the boat alive without Nolan. They're the ones who kept his phone, kept his keys, deleted their social medias. They're the ones who wouldn't talk to the parents and give them any answers. Why aren't they being attacked? They're really not being attacked. From the governor to the AG to local law enforcement, they're more on the suspected killer side than they are the grieving parents' side. Now think about that. And so I'm seeing everywhere where these uncivilized mutts are attacking the family now. They're attacking the family. They're attacking civil rights activists, lawyers. They're attacking bloggers, reporters, journalists, anybody that asks questions about the case. Anybody that's pointing fingers at these people who was hanging out with Nolan, they're trying to attack. What they're using is DARVO. DARVO is a manipulation strategy used to avoid accountability. It stands for deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. It was coined by psychologist Dr. Jennifer Freud. It describes a person turning the tables when they're caught doing wrong. Family, are we there? Are we there yet? So let me break it down to you. There are 3 steps of DARVO. Check this out. Tell me if this resonates with you. The offender says the bad act never happened or claims they did nothing wrong. The offender gets angry and insults the person who called them out, trying to make them look bad or crazy. The offender acts like they are the true victim and paints the real victim as the mean attacker. And here's why people use it and its effects. Deflection. It shifts the focus away from the bad behavior and onto a fake crisis. Create chaos, play the victim. Self-doubt. It confuses the victim and makes them feel guilty or crazy. Common settings. It happens in personal relationships, workplaces, and legal cases. Now, I know as I was saying that, some of y'all had an image in mind of a person who's used the DARVO strategy on you.
Yes, yes.
Some of the rest of y'all probably used that on somebody else and didn't really know the meaning of it, but you knew exactly what you were doing. You knew the effects. You absolutely knew the effects. So this, what I'm saying, fam, this strategy ain't gonna work on me. They've been trying to, they've been doing this to me for years and years and years. I mean, not decades, trying to play that. Like, anytime I speak out against the government, if I speak out against law enforcement, Law enforcement is doing something shady, right? They do something shady, and I speak on it. They say, well, you're racist. But when my white counterparts speak on the exact same thing in the exact same tone, they're a rebel. They call them rebels, or radical, right? Any one of the R's. Any one of the R's except racist. They never get called racist. White guys never get called racist when they attack the system. When they expose corruption within the system, they're never called racist. They're called rebels, radicals, and things of that nature. But if you're black and you call out the system and you call out the white person who's running this department or that department, or who's in charge of this or that, you're racist. That's a deflection mechanism. It don't work with me. It's never worked with me, and it ain't gonna work with me. Then they start saying, oh, he's just a race hustler. A race hustler? Man, you think I get up every morning looking for racism? Where's racism? I know it's some racism, Ryan. I need a goddamn break, man. You won't give me one. If you don't like being called a racist, why do you work so hard at being one? You think I'm supposed to just shut up and rap? Nah, it don't go like that, man. It ain't never gonna go like that with me. They think they slick. You're not smarter than me, not by far. You're not smarter than me at all. You're not even close to my intellectual capacity. You're not even close. And your heart is in the wrong place. You have no heart. You're evil. You're wicked. If there's a hell below, you're absolutely going to go. I have zero respect for you. Because I know you say the things that you say because you're wicked. You don't say it because you're some, good-hearted, well-intentioned person. You want us to be silent so you can be comfortable. That ain't gonna never work with me. Expose these cowards. Expose these cowards. Expose these cowards. All day, every day. All y'all content creators out there, keep your foot on the gas. Don't let up. Oh, they coming. They always come. They gonna try to troll you. They gonna try to do this and do that. Man, don't, just keep your foot on the gas. And when you get a chance, get your lick back.
Hey, yeah, he's damn right on that one. And it's foul, too. So, man, the motherfuckers damn it want to send threats and shit on the internet to us, though, who want to stand for justice, damn it. Who want to stand up for a boy who was murdered. Who want to stand for his family. Who's speaking on this, calling out injustice. To hell with you bastards. Yeah. Put them motherfuckers under the jail, too. So, yeah. All their shit, IP address and all that should be tracked. Track, file them with delivery, and arrest them and send their ass to jail for want to send threats to us. So you and they think too, like we supposed to accept that type of shit too. You motherfuckers want to threaten us, bully us and shit to basically just shut up. Yeah, that's basically what it is. When you break all this shit down, do they just want us to just shut up and just take the boot up the ass? And you got us effed up. Hell nah, one verse a million. crazy ass people. And they like to use the internet too, to where so they can hide and slither in the darkness with their bullshit. You know, they'll never want to be bold and shit to come out with their shit. How they actually are. Nah, they want to stay hidden, especially in plain sight on the job, workplace, outside of their job, different places. And where you gotta go and interact with people and shit. And you just gotta hope that the people who you have to interact with to get shit done are not of these fucked up mentality traits. As in the people who will send threats off to you and shit for standing up for for what's righteous against injustice towards black people. And I will. And there's a lot of us that will continue to stand against all forms of injustice. So yeah, here we go. This one is of the enhanced leaked audio.
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Well, what do we have here? Family, we got a woman on Facebook who goes by the name Janetta Brantley. She is an audio engineer, sound expert, who took the sinking boat call audio in the Nolan Wells case and enhanced it. Smoking gun, perhaps? Check it out.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership. Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
Y'all hear that, fam? Did y'all catch that? Let me tell you what I heard. Can we cover it up? Yeah, I thought all about that. Another person go, oh. Another person said, you killed him. He's already dead. Is he dead? And then you hear the person yelling, Nolan. And then you hear somebody say, oh my God, Nolan, wake up. Then you hear somebody scream, Wyatt. And then they say, wake up. Get the F up. And then you hear very clearly, damn it, Bart. And then No-No's really dead now. Come on, fam. Come on. Why is it that the internet, the public, seems to be more interested in this case, in solving this case, than law enforcement? This is the work that law enforcement should be doing. This woman took it upon herself to go into the studio, use her money, her time to enhance the audio to get down to the truth in the Nolan Wells mystery. And it's as clear as that. We already heard some parts when somebody said, is he dead and all that stuff. So now we know Nolan was dead on that boat. He was dead on the so-called sinking boat. Nolan was dead. We know now for a fact. The audio is enhanced with no AI. You ain't got to take my word for it. I'll let Janetta speak for herself.
Before I play this, I want to quickly explain what I did, what you're looking at on the screen, and why I chose to approach this audio the way that I did. As a professional audio engineer with experience in dialogue editing, dialogue cleanup, sound design, and post-production, I decided to work on that CTO call using traditional audio processing techniques rather than relying on any AI voice separation or AI enhancement. My goal was pretty much to preserve as much of the original recording as possible while making the quieter dialogue and background audio easier to hear. So I basically used techniques such as subtractive EQ, compression, gain adjustments, noise reduction, frequency isolation, and other traditional processing methods. So what I did was I separated Vicky, the CTO dispatcher, from Warren and the audio originating from the boat so that I can concentrate more closely on what was happening behind and around Warren, pretty much on the boat. And I specifically chose not to rely on AI because aggressive AI enhancements and voice isolation tools can sometimes introduce artifacts and distort the speech or create ambiguity around the sounds that were originally present. And for something this serious, I wanted my processing to remain as conservative as possible. You'll also notice time code and dialogue written on the side of the screen and pop up during each segment. That dialogue represents what I personally hear as an audio engineer while processing and repeatedly reviewing these sections. I'm pretty much providing it as a listening reference, not as a declaration that my interpretation is the only possible interpretation. And that's important. I want you to listen for yourself, use headphones if you have them, listen closely, and decide with your own ears what you believe is being said. You can also return to the original unprocessed recording and compare directly with what you're hearing here. You'll also notice that my time code may not match the regular timestamp on the original uploaded video. And that's because I'm working inside a professional post-production timeline, a digital audio workstation, basically using SMPTE time code, which in film, that's displayed in hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. Film and TV timelines are completely different from timestamps that you see when you're watching regular videos or when you're watching a movie and you hit pause. So basically the time code on the screen is there to identify the precise location within my working session, not to represent the elapsed timestamp displayed by the original video player. And I hope that makes sense. For this first video, I'm sharing only approximately 37 seconds of the call. I originally intended to continue much further, but once I separated the dispatcher from the boat and started concentrating exclusively on the background dialogue, what I believed I was hearing became extremely difficult for me to process emotionally, and I needed to take a mental break. But I wanted to release this portion because some of the details that stood out most to me occur very early in the call, like right at the top of the call. And so I'm gonna let the audio play. Read my transcription if you want to reference, but don't allow it to determine what you hear. I want you to listen first, listen again, compare it with the original recording, and then judge it with your own ears.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut up! Shut the fuck up! David, Bart.
Damn it, Bart. Now, Bart, they said, was supposed to be out of town or something like that. Now, remember, let's go back to this interview. Let's go back to this interview right here of this guy. Remember this guy right here? That's Warren Hudson. Warren Hudson is the self-proclaimed best friend of Nolan. This is why the parents were so adamant about hearing from Warren, because he was close. I don't know if he was a best friend because I don't know a best friend. I've never had a best friend whose house I've never been to. You know, if I had a best friend, you know, I had been to his house. Like when I think about best friends, like I never had a best friend whose house I'd never been to. But by his own admission, he had never been to Nolan's house, but they've been best friends since middle school. Go figure. I think he may even have said elementary, right? In any event, in the interview, this guy, Warren Hudson, said, my buddy. You remember he kept saying my buddy. He wouldn't say the name of the friend. Everybody else's names he called out. But he didn't say the name. He kept saying my buddy as if he was trying to protect somebody. So it appears to me that Bart is the person he was likely trying to protect. Yeah, fam. Yeah, now we getting down to the nitty-gritty. Yeah. Warren, it appears, was trying to protect Bart. Bart is the mystery person. I'm not sure if Bart is the one who killed Nolan. But for somebody to scream out, damn it, Bart, where it sounds like Bart has some type of involvement. At the very least, every single person who was on that boat is an accessory. At the very least, after the fact. And they've all tampered with evidence because none of them have come forward to tell the truth. So let's break it down. So we got inconsistent stories where the girl said they went to see, Nolan went to join his friends, to rejoin his friends. The so-called friends said Nolan went to go join the girl and took off. We never seen him again. We got the boat situation where the boat was sinking and it was a SOS. They needed towing. Then they tell the towing company, don't worry about it. But before they tell the towing company, don't worry about it, the towing operator, Vicky, I believe, asked them if they needed the Coast Guard. He said, no, we don't need them. We don't need them. Dude, you got a sinking boat. You need any kind of help you can get. Coast Guard is most equipped to handle something like that. The towing company just towed a boat. But the Coast Guard can come out there with helicopters and all kinds of stuff and, life jackets and extra boats. They can do whatever they can do whatever. They are fully equipped to handle boats and passengers who are in distress, right? He said, no, we don't need them. I know if I'm on a sinking boat and they say, do you need the Coast Guard? Hell yeah, I need the Coast Guard. I need the Coast Guard. I need you. I need the Coast Guard. I need somebody said security guard. I need the security guard, the Coast Guard, any damn guard. I need everything. I'm sinking. But they said, no. We don't need that. So you got that situation. Then you got the phones, which is one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle. You got the phones where they held his phone knowing that he was missing. They held the phone from the parents. When the phone was discovered, the phone was erased. Everything on the phone is deleted. Then you got the keys that they held on to. Instead of taking the keys to the parents, they're holding on to the keys. Then you got the fact that that Nolan is missing. Instead of them out there searching for their buddy, once they find out he's missing, they go to bed. They sleeping. They chilling. They kicking it. Then you have this guy doing an interview with zero emotions. The texture of his voice was even killed the entire time. No up, no down, just matter of factly. Then you got the fact that none of them attended the funeral. Then you got the fact that they all scrubbed their social media accounts. They went dark. There's so many inconsistencies in these stories. Then you got the fact that you got members of law enforcement and other officials who might, official agencies who might be part of a major cover up. You got a sheriff who jumped to say that he suspected no foul play, although he hadn't examined the body. He hadn't even seen the body. He had no reports. He had no official reports. He hadn't spoken to any detectives or anything. But he decided that, we don't suspect foul play. You got a governor who said, I haven't been following the case, but we don't suspect foul play. Then the governor goes after, instead of the governor going after the answers, going after the people who are suspected, or at least saying we're going to get justice for the family, who's ever responsible will be brought to justice. He goes, we don't suspect foul play. And by the way, Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, y'all need to get out of our state because y'all out here sowing racial division. As if Mississippi needs help racially dividing. Yeah. Then you got a coroner who handled the body improperly. Then you got a medical examiner who sends the body off to D.C. to be examined by an independent examiner without the lungs or his throat. Key organs that are needed in cases of drowning. You got to examine those. She sent the body without it. Family. Then you got the FBI who comes in and say, instead of them saying, yeah, we're getting close to cracking the case, they're investigating people who are looking for answers. They're investigating people who are calling out racism.
That's ass backwards. That's ass backwards.
Family. Remember, did I tell y'all this is Mississippi? Remember? I said it early on, because I know how they get down. Whew. That audio is damning. That audio. Janetta. I ain't got no problem with that. No more talk.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to be detained. All those that was on that boat, they need to be detained, questioned, and all their social media, all their social media surrendered. And apparently, right now, there's a live update going on that Willie D, the brother Willie D, is sharing right now. The family of them speaking right now. So they're saying, there's an update on the case and other cases as well. So if I was you guys, I'd go check that out too. But yeah, man, because I'm about to go check that out as soon as I end this. But yeah, too many inconsistencies and ass backwards procedures, and too much of this justifications. Too many justifications for this bullshit that's going on. Missing body parts. Yeah, that's a major issue right there. What I mean, and that is highly suspenseful as fuck. So, what the raccoons gonna say about that? They're gonna probably speak on. They're gonna probably come up with some justification for that too as well. No, it's straight bullshit. All right, all of his body parts should have been sent back for the second autopsy. And the keys and the whole line about the keys thing and the phone and his phone being wiped clean. Come on, dude. and certain ones were removing themselves from social media or deleting their accounts or some shit. Yeah, but still keep in mind, no matter what they delete, they have always shown where shit can still be recovered. Well, what is that saying goes for this internet age is nothing that's deleted is ever truly deleted. So, but yeah, it just leads to lingering fury. You give people answers and justice, and then you won't have a whole revolt. Start doing right by people, you know, by black people more predominantly. Then you won't have no escalations or no insight of any kind of crazy ass riots. You dumbasses. So I don't get these bastards. I don't these evil ass people. Yeah, they need to be held accountable. So no matter what, no matter you come in my comments saying some shit, total opposite of that, then yeah, you need to boot up the ass too to see you pass Mars. Yeah, because I'm not trying to hear it. So I need to hear shit around the lines of justice for Nolan Wells. May he rest in peace. May God bless his family. And may they receive justice. And I pray that in Jesus Christ's name. So, this your guy Ray Harmer, one versus a million. I'm not your fan. I'm not your stand for. I am brother. And I am out. Please hit the like, share, subscribe. Follow the Rumble. The link is in the description. And bless the Hammer for us and the Cash App if you want to further support the channel. All right. Peace out, y'all.
Rowling. King dapper down and sharper than shark teeth. I'm fresh to death, and when I put that shit on, it lower my heartbeat. This how fire works, baby. I spark heat like a bottle rocket. I don't even spit, I be vomiting. When I barf sheesh, the whole game know I'm a menacer. Every beat is like a special move on Mortal Kombat. I'm a finisher, soul snatcher, taking your enema, feeding on rappers, but you niggas is trash. I've been throwing my dinner up. I don't settle down with it, I simmer up. You would never walk a mile in my shoes, cause bitch, I ain't gonna let you bend them up. I took shots, some niggas was dunking. I wasn't him enough. Fuck, I'm trying to prove that I'm cold. That's what the winner for. Hey, keep it taller, that's what you winning for. Do it y'all meaning like the sun at noon. You better make sure it's centered up. Because the way that my shit hit, brother, bitches be trying to get me in the corner for the mouth. Like spit bubbles, champagne in my coat. I'm a Chris Tucker. I'm running circles round niggas. Soon as I enter race like a mixed couple. Chunk of fat dudes, this a big double. I put the bread before the beef and did it all for the cheese like a McDouble. Hey, King busted nigga, my shit shuttle. I give him game, but truthfully, you niggas is condom like a dick rubber. So kick rocks, nigga, and lick rubble. Cause I'm the problem and the reason why little China got big trouble. Look, I'm clean shaven, you won't see shit stubble. And if I ever want a pool of bitches, I tell her make me a big puddle. I freak your diva till she got weak knees. She wanna lay in the sand on an island in tan. I told her beach please. All I ask is give me a hard dick, not a hard time. Regarding your feelings mean that I'm gonna disregard mine. And I ain't in the business of brushing off what I really want. When you expressing feelings, just try to be Bryson Tiller. Don't let me know if you can comprende. And if we fucking hush about it, just keep my pickle low like I'm Dende. And then stay 10 toes down. If you want niggas that'll bleed for you, baby, you gotta make sure the men straight. Never fold, but if you do, then bend straight. I muffle some of the game so they won't get exhausted from all this intake. I'm sick of all you ingrates. My heart tougher than Tuscan leather. Gave an inch, but they took a foot from me. I'm Kunta Kinte. I'm rolling.